Hello guys, welcome to my review of Dexter Resurrection, episode 7. So we've got 3 more episodes after this one. So we're on course correction. At this point I just have to accept that of spoilers, but you've probably been watching it, so yeah. That they've just killed off just about all the killers anyway. Yeah. So yeah, I kinda have to accept that. Yeah. Because you only got like one guy left and you kinda see how he ends up killing people. And it seems like he's kind of scared of blood too. But yeah, you still got the twin anyway. But you know, Dexter, he kind of deals with him in this episode, but he does it in such a flipping crazy way where you'd think Dexter would be screwed. But yeah, he finds a way. So yeah, I guess, is it Leon? Yeah. He basically takes him to his home. I think this is supposed to be his main home. And you basically finally get to find out why he's so obsessed with getting all these killers together and stuff. But I'll get to that once it gets to that scene. I guess to do a toast to Mia, because he kind of reveals that, you know, she killed herself supposedly, which he probably, you know, killed her. And I'm still thinking if Melvin's involved, but I'm just not sure. But I'll get to that. Also, it seems like Harrison finally finds someone that he maybe could be with when he tries out college. Seems like she kind of at least helps him figure out what he could do, since he wants to do something like in like a cop direction, like the rest of his family, I guess. So really, yeah, I guess he's a true Morgan, because all of them end up being cops. And at least she's still a good friend, even though I guess she doesn't like him in that way, which I don't know why she wouldn't. But yeah, since he's kind of like a killer in a way. I mean, he's only killed like one person in this whole season, while Dexter's just been on a killing spree, killing like a bunch of serial killers. Like, man, he's killed way more big serial killers than he did in just one season of Dexter, the original show. It's just crazy to think about that. I mean, though you can't really count Mia, since it was probably Leon who killed her. Yeah, and I guess Dexter has to like, you know, do a show like how the rest were doing. We didn't really, I don't think we ever got to see Mia do that, but we kind of got enough about her anyway to know how she was like and why she did what she did. Which she never really, I don't know if she ever showed it to like them, but that's what Dexter has to do. So he kind of has to like, in a way, be himself without revealing too much, which I guess ends up working out for him, because all of them are just astounded with what they see. Yeah, first they kind of show, you know, the guy from Modern Family, like how he kills his victims, literally recording it. He got it as like a present from his family, of his kids probably. Like he's just stalking this girl. Seeming like he's just like driving by and then he just like pretends to have an accident, and then she tries to help him, and then, you know, he basically strangles her. Yeah, and he likes to cut the hair as well. Yeah, nice and creepy. And you can just see Dexter disgusted by it, while the Gemini killer, or Gemini, whatever, the twin, like he gets a little bit of a nice view of it. Like he just seems like he smiles a little bit, but he's just like, Jesus. And you seen Dexter just getting ready for his show and tell, I guess. And it's a bit hilarious just seeing him. And you got flipping Harry in the back saying like, "This is not you, man. You worked so hard to not be like them." And then, you know, they start kind of mentioning things we've heard before about, you know, how he blamed himself, or how Dexter turned out, so he killed himself and all that. The stuff we've already heard in the original show, yeah. But then he says like he knows deep down that Dexter was good, yeah. But then I guess he talks about like basically always putting on the mask and stuff. So he's basically talking about how he always felt in the original show, I guess, and you could say also New Blood. You could say now in Resurrection with this family that's helping him out. Like he always has to put on a mask, and then he'll briefly take it off when he's, you know, killing someone. And then once he's killed that person, they've took their last breath, he has to put that mask back on. So it's like a never-ending cycle until someone finally, you know, takes down Dexter, whether he ends up in jail or dead. But from what he says, I guess Leon was impressed how open he was, which I guess we find out that Leon, with how his parents died, so basically it was like a a guy who had a fight with his girlfriend. I have no idea if he killed his girlfriend or not, but he wanted to take out his rage, and he ended up taking out on Leon, I guess. And I don't know. From that tragedy, he ended up in foster care, but instead of like accepting what happened, which no one would really accept that, man, like losing your family like that, and then the person that did that is still alive, but he's in prison though. But he decides to like write a letter of how angry he's at him, and then he just responds back like he doesn't really care. But then he gets to a point where he can eventually do like visits with him, so he can actually meet him face to face. And the way how he talks, it just, instead of like pissing him off even more, he kind of gets more intrigued of how killers think. Like, and just he ended up getting so addicted to it now that he's literally bringing serial killers together to understand how they truly think. It's kind of a bit weird, and I probably didn't fully explain it that well, but yeah. And then Claudette was just on the wall earlier on in Resurrection, but now she's just turning a blind eye when she literally has someone that could help her bring down Dexter. It's the writing there is not the best, because she was so on to flipping Harrison and stuff, but then once Batista comes into the picture, you'd think them two together would destroy them. But now she's just randomly turning a blind eye. It just makes no sense to me. Like, what happened there? I'm thinking all types of things, but it's probably not even true anyway, where either she's getting blackmailed, or she's like maybe a mole as well, but I doubt that. She doesn't seem like that kind of character, but I still think it's Melvin. But Melvin would also have to know that Dexter is Dexter, but then does Leon know Dexter is Dexter and not the dark passenger Red? There's just so many questions. It makes you think, I guess, because I did make a video about Batista's fate and how he could end up possibly dying if he's not careful, if he gets too close to the sun. And he's fully all in on Dexter, to the point where we finally get to see Batista experience the real Dexter for once, that the killers get to see before they die. Yeah. Yeah. So this is probably like the most interesting stuff we actually get to see from Batista and Dexter ever, really, because he finally gets to meet the real Dexter. And, you know, flipping Dexter using the same technique to try to take him out, about obsessing over like how he kills his victims, to the point where he literally reveals that, you know, I know you have a twin and stuff, and you possibly do it together and all that. And this is when he kind of tells his story. He kind of shows the letter that he actually gave to the person that killed his family. He kind of kept it after all this time, and I guess he ended up passing away. And this episode just does a lot of flashbacks to old stuff, when they're talking about like losses, like they show Rita, him getting shot by his son. Yeah, well, they're talking about the killer that killed Leon's family. But they're basically just revealing like why he has such an obsession with serial killers. Yeah, still a bit weird, but at least we've got some kind of answer. And then flipping Batista goes to meet Dexter's new friends, because he's someone that can always fit in anywhere until things just hit the fan. And I hope nothing happens to this black guy, because he's a cool character, man. He deserves the best. I hope he doesn't end up getting in a crossfire between Dexter, Batista, and these other people like Leon and stuff, the cops. Yeah, hope nothing happens to him and his family, because, you know, people always die around Dexter. And he just basically reveals that he knows he has a twin and stuff. And it seems like Gemini was going to get hostile, but he tries to like bond with him, saying like he had a brother too and stuff, but he wasn't able to build that bond. And he just wants to know how he was able to keep that, so they make a reference to Brian and stuff. Yeah, which Brian, he kind of was, from what we see from Original Sin, he was kind of like always watching Dexter, so who knows how long that went on for. But it's kind of weird that he never decided to do anything all that time. Like, he was just like watching Dexter live his life with his foster family. Yeah. But then he ends up pissing him off when he reveals that, you know, he killed his brother. Like, and he says like, since you're twins, wouldn't you feel like if something happened to your twin? And then he just, you know, reveals it all. And they end up fighting. Yeah. And then Dexter just ends up flipping, killing him. Like, he basically makes it like he's trying to attack him, and he's actually just wanting to get revenge for his brother. And then Dexter's able to slice his neck. He's bleeding out, but then flipping while the others are running over, he just puts another thing in his neck, so he dies, so he can't really snitch. Yeah. And then she just wants to shoot him at that point because she doesn't know how the fight started. And then Leon just thinks like he was just defending himself and shit, and he thinks like he probably was the one kind of causing the chaos of people disappearing and stuff. So Dexter basically just puts all the blame on him, which is just stupid. Yeah. And like flipping the bride just thinks like it doesn't make sense. This is not even his MO. Like he likes to kill like multiple people at the same time, not just one person. And then Leon thinks like his ego's just getting too big because of him, so he tried to like take out, I guess maybe Dexter, Red, and this guy from Modern Family at the same time, but it didn't work out. That's kind of how Dexter wanted to put on the blame, I guess. Yeah. And he gets fixed up, and then because Harrison ends up going to college, he meets a girl that he likes, who gives him a tour. He's trying to message his dad, but he's not answering. So yeah, she seems cool anyway. She's fun. They kind of have a cool little thing. I don't know how to describe it. And they say something about having a dinner party at the end, I guess. So we'll see how that goes. But yep, he ends up going in like flip, and then we end up seeing flipping her, which is hilarious. It's so convenient. And he tries to run away, but it's kind of a bit too late. Yeah. So he has to stay. Oh, she's talking about a serial killer, one that she helped take down before, and that's just kind of seen the murder weapon as well. Yeah. And man, it's pretty horrific what she shows. I don't even know if I can even show it on TikTok. Like, man. So I might have to skip through. But yeah. And then Dexter ends up, actually making it. From the help of Harrison's possible new girlfriend. And there's a little loading issue here, but yeah. So they kind of have to listen to what she says, and she basically makes Dexter sound like a psycho with how serial killers think, and then Harrison's just probably thinking like, man, is that how my dad really thinks? Like, does he really have no emotion and stuff? He doesn't really care what he does. But deep down we know that he actually does care about Harrison. It's in a different way compared to like normal people, where he loves something, where he can still know that without Harrison he doesn't have meaning, I guess. And he needs that to feel something, I guess, at all. Yeah. But yeah, this is just like fully frozen at this point. And what else was there to even talk about other than Batista going to, I guess, Dexter's house, which, he's kind of staying there with his person that became his friend. And how Batista asked like how they met, and they said it was like from an Uber, and then just ended up becoming friends from there. And you let him stay. Like, it's just kind of funny just seeing him there just dancing around, and Dexter's just like hiding his flipping kill stuff. And then flipping he does like a kind of surprise motherfucker. Surprise him, mano. I just, it's funny. I just don't know why it's freezing right now, but yeah. And then, he just wants to take him out so they can have a little talk out, like, in the car. Like, he'll give him a ride back. And then this is when they have probably the most intense, talk in the whole show. Which was pretty surprising. Just something that I thought I'd never see. Dexter's just showing his true self to flipping Batista. I thought I'd never see this until, like, maybe he gets arrested or something. So this is probably one of the biggest moments of the whole franchise, really. Finally getting to see this. Someone that was so blind to what Dexter truly was, but he still viewed him as like a good friend, I guess. And now he's truly seeing the real Dexter, and you can see he's disturbed by him, and he just wants to bring him down. He blames him for like Deborah's death, Greta's death, and Dokes' death, even though they was kind of killed by different people. I mean, Deborah killed Greta, Deb got killed by the season 8 killer, and Dokes got killed by Dexter's crazy girlfriend. So yeah. But in a way, he's kind of connected to their deaths in a way. and he just mainly just went around killing serial killers, and he has a small amount of innocents that is killed, like Miguel's brother. There was some other guy, which we don't even fully know if he was even that bad. And I think it was after Rita's death, like he just killed some random guy. And I guess the cop in New Blood, but yeah, I don't know if there's any others. But most of the time he's just killed really, really bad people that deserve to die, I guess. But you know, law's the law, and Dokes wants to... not Dokes. Batista wants to bring him down, because he's kind of making like Dokes moves right now, but he needs to be smarter than Dokes, otherwise it'll end the same way. Yeah, but he puts like a little tracking device on Dexter's car, I guess, so he knows what he'll end up doing, where he'll end up going. But I don't think Dexter's that dumb. He's been a cop, so he really thinks that's gonna work. I'd be shocked if Dexter doesn't notice. And to me, it's not even that hard to find. So he really thinks that's gonna work. I bet literally in the first 5 minutes or less, Dexter will just dispose of it, and if Batista tries to follow it, it's just gonna lead to nothing. Yeah, but yeah, it was another good episode. What should I give this? It's just not like, because I'm literally watching a peak show right now, flipping Alien Earth, and comparing it to Dexter right now. If there wasn't both on at the same time, and Dexter's going to be done soon, and even though I just have to accept that they've killed off just about all the killers, it would have been more interesting to see like some of them just start to work together to realise that Dexter's probably like killing them all, and then they try to take out Dexter. And just imagine if they tried to all take on Dexter at the same time, and then Harrison had to help to like save his dad or something. Like, that's the kind of thing I wish we got to see. Like, just spend episodes developing like why they're killers, to the point where maybe Dexter has to take on multiple at the same time. You could still at least kill one of them earlier on, but flipping killing one episode by episode by episode, it's just pretty underwhelming, and I kind of wish they did them a bit better. Yeah, it would have been cool if they had some of them that ended up working out Dexter's killing them, but they tried to work together to bring down Dexter, and then he has Harrison to help him and stuff. Like, that's what I wish I got to see, but oh well. They're dead. There's literally only one left. And then Leon, which I don't know what side he'd be on if he realised who Dexter really is, which I'm guessing he needs to find out either the next episode or the penultimate episode, and we'll just see what will happen. Like if he'll send the bride after Dexter or something. Because let's just think about the enemies that Dexter could have by the penultimate episode or the finale. So there's Batista, who wants to bring him down. Leon could turn on him, and he could send the bride after him. Claudette seems suspicious on him now, when they had that little chat at the college. Was anyone else? I mean, I guess you got the last killer who's still alive, and I think that's everyone. Yeah. And I just don't know if Melvin's working with Leon, or he's just Claudette's partner and he's not actually a part of anything. But for how Mia died, I just feel like it's going to be one of them, like Claudette or Melvin, which I'm just betting on Melvin, because Claudette feels like a real cop, even though it just makes no sense how she's just decided to like fully drop everything. Like, she was fully on to Harrison, but then she just decides to turn a blind eye. She didn't seem like that kind of character. She seemed smarter, but I don't know. I guess we'll see how things will work out in the end. And hopefully Batista doesn't just get killed off by the end of the season or something, which would suck. But you know, they gotta keep the show going, but they would have to do something to like get rid of Batista without killing him, which I just can't see how they could do that unless he gets blamed for something and gets arrested, but then maybe he gets cleared sometime in like season 2, and I just hope the show just gets like 2 or 3 seasons, doesn't drag on. And to be honest, I'd just like The Walking Dead, I wish we just could end things with a movie instead of like TV shows. It just feels like a better way to end like a franchise that's just gone on for a really long time. Yeah, but we'll see how things go, because I'd prefer like maybe one more season and then end it with a movie. But I just know there's going to be other spin-offs and they're going to do more with original sin. It's still good, this show turned out good, but yeah, I just don't want this to go on for too long. You can't go on for 8 seasons. Just to think about that. Oh man, that would be crazy. Because you're not the original show, so you can't go on for that long. But yeah, that's all I got to say. It was a good episode. Was the highlight of the highlight of the episode was Batista getting to meet the real Dexter, because that's something I always wanted to see in the franchise, and I finally got it. Awesome. I thought I would have got to see that in like maybe when Dexter goes to jail or something. But it's cool we finally got to see this. Yeah, awesome. It just might not end off with Batista though. Yeah, and we'll just see how things will go with the cops. Like if any of them are moles for Leon or something, and if Leon even knows who Dexter truly is. Yeah, and yeah, sure you can leave a like. I'll see you next one. Peace.